a little bit of a mess up on my behalf, so I do apologise about that. So what have you been up to today so far? Now, I've just finished recording episode, I think it'd be episode 4 or 5 of the podcast, which is chapters 9 and 10 of my book. It's always a book. Broken Ceasefire. Broken Ceasefire is available on all good ebook platforms. And I'm kind of preparing for the launch of Return Fire, which is around here somewhere. I think it's just here. So, incidentally, that's the second edition. So, I've got a few copies of the first edition available. So, if you want a first edition, then contact me via wayneblinko.com. And in the meantime, I've got this one up for pre-order on all good ebook platforms as well. Now, what I wanted to talk about briefly is just what kind of motivates me as an author, and a little bit about my history, what got me started, you know, why do I write, and what got me into doing it. Well, growing up in the 1980s, I know I don't look that old, do I? Growing up in the 1980s, I was heavily influenced by pop culture at that time, which would include Star Wars, obviously, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Doctor Who. So the real kind of big hitters of pop culture. Marvel was primarily just comics, although we did have some Spider-Man movies as well as Superman as well. Superman was massive with that score as well. John Williams, isn't it? The famous composer. So I kind of was bitten by the sci-fi bug as well, and all of the things you get with pop culture, like figurines and sort of figurines, soft toys, anything really connected to the franchises that we were enjoying at that time. I even had a Return of the Jedi beanbag, believe it or not, which was really comfy, but it split and all the beans went everywhere, as they do. It wasn't double lined or anything. It was, I think we got it from got it off a market, so it probably wasn't a genuine one. Anyway, wish I kind of had it now though, because it was still comfortable. It would be threadbare as anything. So that kind of gave me the impetus and some of the ideas that have influenced me with my writing at the moment, which is currently the Ceasefire series of books that I'm working on. Broken Ceasefire, as I just mentioned, is available on, so this is available on all good ebook platforms. Then we have coming up for pre-order, Return Fire, which is the sequel, and I'm really pleased with the sequel. Hiya, Mr. Feral96, how are you? Thank you very much for joining me. So just really talking about things. I'm fine, thank you. How are you? So that's where the inspiration comes from for some of the stories, and I was heavily influenced, I think, by Battlestar Galactica, and if you read the books, you'll see the Battlestar Galactica influence in there. Buck Rogers, it was a phenomenal TV show back in the day, and such a shame it got cancelled when it did. But it's a sign of the times though, isn't it? Very much like things are these days. How many shows do we watch that only get one season and then they're cancelled and they end on a cliffhanger? Such a pain in the ass. So that's really kind of where I was getting my influences from. And you have a second channel, 500,000 subs. That is impressive. Well done. I'll have to check that out then. Yeah, wow, 500,000 people. Cool. Well done. Absolutely well done. So yeah, that's kind of what influenced me. Name RPX Facts. Okay, I'll have a little look at that then. So let's go on to YouTube. Doctor Who was a massive influence as well. I really loved watching Doctor Who. So what's that name of that channel? RPX. Okay. And as you can tell, the channels change from pop culture. That's all right. No, that's right. I had a little bit of a mistake this morning. Yeah, I thought, oh, cool. That is cool. Yeah, I was actually live on the other channel instead of this one this morning, so it was a bit of a pain. Wow, 583,000 subscribers and 690 videos. That's impressive. That is. That's why I thought I'd go. So, M Ruffler. That's why I thought I'd go live now to make up for not being live this morning, which don't know. I think it's because I was trying to do a morning one, just wasn't quite fully awake, so I was on the wrong one. Right. Oh, cool. So, what have we got? Building wooden. Oh, well, that looks in. I'll check that out. I'll check that out for you later on. So, yeah, that's something that got me started. I was just saying what influenced me. No, that's fine. I will try and go live in the mornings on a regular basis, but as I'm kind of learning with the going lives, you'll probably find that where we start off now, because these are going to be a bit hit and miss. Don't worry about it. I get so annoyed when you have these like grammar police that you see online, like, you missed out a comma, you didn't spell that correctly, that's the wrong trick. Get a life. As long as you can communicate and understand what each other are saying, does it really matter? I mean, which is which, and would. I mean, there's 4 or 5 different versions of would. So don't worry about it. I'm actually dyslexic, so bad spelling and all that. Fact of life, I'm afraid. Yeah, just get on with it. As I say, as long as you can make yourself, as long as people know what it is you're talking about, does it really matter? That's the main thing, and you can improve on it as well. This is the thing with language. I don't speak any other language apart from English. I struggled with French. I wanted to learn German, but I got told at school that because my English wasn't great because of the dyslexia, that they wouldn't actually put me forward for any other languages. I know, go figure. So I have missed out by not trying to learn other languages, and primarily we've gone to English speaking countries anyway, so I've kind of got away with it. But if I was to go to like RPX facts here from India, if I was to go to India, I'd struggle because, you know, I know a lot of people speak English in India and other countries, but it's not really the point. When you go somewhere, it's nice if you have a little bit of understanding, comprehension of the local language. And you, how can I tell you, how do you settle in America? I don't know. I'm not in America. I'm in the UK. So I'd say just be yourself, be respectful, as you would anywhere else. Well, what would you do to settle in another different part of India? Just put all that into what you're doing in America. So just be respectful, be kind, and just, yeah, that's really all there is. And learn a different culture. America would have slightly different culture and terminology. This is the thing, even with English speaking countries, you still get terminology and sayings, like we have boot for the car, it's the boot, it's at the back. America, they call it the trunk. We went to Australia many years ago, and you'd think English Australia wouldn't be a problem. They had this sign at this bar, and it was advertising a cream tea. It is nearly 1:30 in the afternoon in the UK. What time is it where you are? And what's the weather like? This morning, I'm going to do this all the time, so we're a little bit grey and overcast and chilly here in the UK. So this restaurant had this sign out, it said cream tea. So my wife and I sat down and thought, right, that's great, we'll have one of those. And I went up to the counter and I said, can we have 2 cream teas? And she thought I said green tea. So I didn't realise this. We're sat down, this tea comes to us, and this is nice. Perhaps we'll get a scone and the jam and everything in a second, and we're waiting, and it doesn't show up. I then went up to the counter to say, excuse me, but I thought we'd ordered a cream tea. Where is it? Oh, 8 p.m. Oh, right. So you're that way then. So America's that way and you're that way. 8 p.m. So you Asia, Australia region. 8 hours is Australia-ish, isn't it? Um, and then once they realised that we actually wanted a cream tea, yeah, we got it, and it was really nice. And yeah, so just just try and don't be don't beat yourself up, and just be yourself and make new friends. That's how you get on with people. I'd love to move to a different country. We've considered moving to Indonesia. Oh, great. And so you Malaysia, Indonesia, then with the tallest building, with the bridge, that's something towers. We're actually flying in your direction then in the new year. We're spending 4 weeks in Australia, stopping off in Hong Kong. So what I'm going to try and do is build the channel up as much as I can between now and then there'll be a little bit of a period where I won't be able to do a lot of content, but I'll do what I can. It's the fact of life, though. For everything's expensive, no matter where you are, and that's the thing. You try and think to yourself, like a meal for us at a restaurant used to cost for the three of us about £50, maybe £60 if you have a dessert and drinks, but then now it's closer to £100, and that's somewhere cheap. That's the thing. It wasn't somewhere expensive. That'd be somewhere cheap. But that's how it is. There's greed. There's just too much greed. Businesses see an easy profit, an easy dollar, so they just charge what they can, forces prices up. You notice it in like a used car market. We'll use this as an example where you'll have an absolute pristine Mini Cooper going for maybe £30,000 or £40,000. Oh, good luck with that issue, mate. Okay, and I'll try and go live again tomorrow morning. I'll probably be on this. I've got a meeting at 8 o'clock, so maybe about 10:30 tomorrow. So that'll be about 4 or 5 hours. Wait, no, I've got 3 cats. But yeah, I'll be live again tomorrow. Maybe you can join me then. I hope everything works out all right. Cost of £50 in dollar, that would be, depending on the exchange rate, possibly about $55 to $60. How speak flow English. That's fine. That's fine. You can make yourself, you make yourself known with that. Yeah, okay then, mate. All right. What do you want to talk about tomorrow? See what happens. But so people look at a classic Mini and think, oh, well, that one sold for £20,000. Therefore, the one that I've got has to be worth at least £15,000 to £18,000. But the comparison is you're comparing something that's in pristine condition to something that's a little bit ropey. No, I'm not. No, that's fine. Okay, well, I'll be on. I suppose if I try and come on for about 10 o'clock tomorrow, then we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, go with the flow. To say this is just what I'm trying to do is just build just a community, just so that we can come here, chat freely about most things. Tend to steer clear of politics for obvious reasons. You just can't. It's just not worth the aggro. But mainly keep it pop culture and book focused, and we'll be fine. So, tell me how I'm fine, thank you. I'm just turned 50, so a bit midlife. 3 cats, not the crazy cat man. That's the wife. So yeah, so people then think their expectation is that they can get a similar sort of money for something that's not as good. and then somebody who's got something even less or value thinks that they can get something more, and so the prices of things just keep on going up. Then when people are willing to pay for it, it just exacerbates the situation because people are spending money on stuff that they shouldn't. No, I'm just going to do a chat. All right. Um, so yeah, congratulations with your channel. That's really good. So yeah, it's really difficult to try and compare prices and stuff. I mean, when you're trying to sell something, you want it to be a fair price, but that's not always the case, because what you think is a fair price, someone will look at it and think, oh yeah, you're ripping me off there, mate. So I did prepare a few things for the live, and I will get onto that now, I think. See, one thing that I'm enjoying is learning, because I'm learning the game development as well, is Blender, which I'm hoping will go into the into Unreal Engine. I'll check it out properly, and then yeah, I mean we can see if there's a collaboration there. I'm up to collaborating with other content creators, definitely. So I've got my daily schedule as well, what I should be doing, and I shouldn't be live. I'll be on for about another 10 minutes or so. I did it, right? It's not there. Or is it down here? No. No. Doesn't matter. I've lost it. Yeah, I was born in the UK. Sophie Levitt, hi. Welcome to the chat. We're just having a general chat, chill and chat. I've spoken about my books. I'm a self-published author, and yeah, I've changed the channel. The channel used to be mainly pop culture and trivia and stuff, but I've swung it round to just storytelling, because that's something that I really want to do. But thank you for joining us, Sophie. What's the weather like where you are? At the moment, it's cloudy here in the UK. I'm just outside London. Nothing really special, just a boggo standard property here. 3 cats. So yeah, the channel was pop culture, because being a bit of a geek and a nerd, then we don't really talk about religion and stuff. Mr. Feral 96. Okay, so all right. So yeah, I grew up in the 80s with a lot of pop culture, Doctor Who on a regular basis, and I've just really kind of been inspired to write my own sci-fi, because of I felt there was a gap in the market, and there's a story that I want to tell with Broken Ceasefire and Return Fire, and then that kind of mushroomed into so many other stories, because the more situations that I was thinking for the characters, then the more I got inspiration and ideas for further development of those little threads, little nuggets. So there is something that I'm working on at the moment, and this is why I'm doing the Blender stuff, and that is a series called The Salamander. Now, the Salamander is about, the ship is obviously the Salamander. There's a short story on Amazon, which is Xander's Salvation. That's kind of like an introduction to the crew of the Salamander. And what I'm doing is I'm learning Blender so that I can make it into a proper show. A bit like what one of the Doctor Who channels have done recently. They've created, looks like a series, all focusing on the Dalek. Okay. All right. I'm not really sure what you want me to say about that, but is that on, do you make that on YouTube? Because that's not bad going. I wouldn't mind making that myself, but so yeah, they've made a series on the Dalek using Blender. So I've started to use Blender. I'm learning how to use it myself, and the story is developing quite nicely. I've built up a couple of assets. I've got all the different ships, I might actually be able to put it on so I can show you. In fact, that'd probably be better if I show you. It's on the computer rather than on the phone. So if I do ships on here, so, and then bring this over. I'll have to flip the camera in a second. Right, so let's flip the camera. Ta-da! Right, so this is the blender that I'm using, and if I go out of here, I'll squeeze that up, and have I opened the right one? Ships up on here. Yeah. So this here, I'll show you this in rendered version in a second. This is what the planet Xander, and you'll hear about Xander in the stories, looks like. He says, there you go. So that's Xander, which is an industrial planet, which will feature quite heavily in the books and the stories as they progress. Then over here, I need to put a light in, so add light, just put sun, there we go. Right, so we've got one of the main, so this is the main space station that I'm working on, and that's going to be kind of pivotal for some parts of the stories. Then we have the just a couple of cruise ships, and one ship that I'm really pleased with is this one. So this here, once I zoom out, so not that one, this one. This ship here is the Salamander, and that's going to be involved in the primarily the show itself, with a couple of pirate ships down here that we've got. And so I've managed to get them firing lasers and stuff. And then there's one or two other ships as well that I'm kind of in the process of putting together. So I've got a fleet, and as I say, that's the Salamander. This is an Artron fighter, and then I've got an Artron mothership as well, which is over here. Was it over here? Right, the Artron mothership is around here somewhere. So if I go on the top view, in fact, is that it? Yeah, I've put the space station on top of the Artron mothership, so there we go. If I go on there and then zoom in, so you can't quite see it on there, I'll just bring that around. So that is this one here. So just put, this is the Artron mothership, and these are all to scale. So the actual sizes that you see, the differences in the size of the ships, is how they'll be. There you go. So this is how the different scale of ships that we've got. So the Artron mothership is the biggest ship of all, and then just an ordinary fighter down here. So all of this is going to be put together for a show for the Salamander, and that's what I'm working on. I've got the scripts basically penned. They're the first 8 episodes that I've got are kind of, I'm jigging at the moment, but what I want to do is focus on the actual effects and the cinematics themselves before I worry too much about the script. I've got the script in my mind. I know what stories I want to tell with this, but these are coming soon. And that there is for the thrusters. So I've created a node and stuff for the thrusters, and then I've added it onto the ships as well. So you get a nice, if I move that around, you get a nice effect with the thrusters going around like that. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's what I'm up to. I'm able to do this here because I'm at home. When I was live yesterday, I was live from work, which is fine. They don't mind me doing that because I'm just a caretaker in a caretaker role. And yeah, that's Xander. What I'm going to use is, now that I've got this set up, the templates, as a template, I'll be able to use it to make other planets and stuff. So that's it. So there you go. That's what I'm up to. That's what we've got coming for this channel very soon. And that's probably where I'm going to end this live. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for the 6 thumbs up. I appreciate that. And I'll be live again tomorrow, maybe in the morning at some point, maybe this time again. I'm still trying to figure out a good time to go live that suits what I do, because I'm just finished off doing the audiobook for Broken Ceasefire, chapter 9 to 10 for the podcast, which will go out on Spotify in a couple of weeks, as well as everything else. So very busy, but really enjoying it, and appreciate all the support that you give me. If you want to support me in any other way, there's a few simple things you just need to do, and that is just to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment on my latest video. And that's it. That's all the support I need at the moment. Because then the idea being, if people can help me that way, the rest of it will follow with terms of sponsorship and AdSense and stuff. So I'm trying to do this for free. And as I say, that's the best thing you can do to support. Go onto TikTok as well. You'll find Sci-Fi Fans on TikTok. And if you like the content here, it's the same content, slightly different on TikTok as well. But this is the main channel for me now, really trying to push it forward. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the continued support. Like, share and subscribe, please, if you want to, if you find value. If you're not finding value in the stories, then let me know why. Let me know. I'm open to improving the channel as much as I can. So thank you so much. I'll be back tomorrow with another live at some point. Take care of yourselves. See you then.